The most dangerous words in a relationship are spoken quietly. They arrive in the middle of a totally different argument, a quiet conversational grenade rolled across the floor. To some, bringing up the past is a dirty trick, a way to win a fight by any means necessary. For others, it's the only way to point out a pattern that's destroying trust. Where do you stand? By the end of this, you might see your own history in a new light. The phrase itself is simple. Remember when you... It sounds harmless, but it's a conversational kill switch. Its purpose is to derail the present conflict by activating a past version of you, the one you thought you'd outgrown, the one you're ashamed of. The argument is no longer about the dishes in the sink or you being 20 minutes late. It's now about your fundamental character flaws. You are suddenly forced to defend yourself on two fronts, the present issue and a mistake from months or even years ago. This cognitive overload is the point. Your brain, now flooded with the distinct sting of old shame, freezes. You either shut down or lash out, trying to defend a ghost. The original point is lost. Your opponent wins by default. This move does more than just end a single argument. It poisons the well of the entire relationship. It proves that no mistake is ever truly left in the past. It's catalogued. It's archived. It's waiting in an arsenal to be deployed the next time you have the upper hand. Forgiveness becomes a temporary ceasefire, a parole that can be revoked at any moment. Every apology you've ever given feels hollow because the offense is still considered live ammunition. Imagine arguing with your partner about your shared budget. You're making a valid point about overspending. Then they say it. Remember when you lost $1,000 on that investment 3 years ago? The conversation about the budget is over. Now you're on trial for being financially irresponsible for all of time. Your credibility on the current topic is vaporized. That sounds like a clear case of emotional manipulation. A low blow. But there's a problem with seeing it only this way. What if the past is the only context that matters? An isolated incident can be an accident. It can be a bad day. A recurring event is something else entirely. It's a pattern. And sometimes, invoking the past is the only way to make someone see the pattern they are desperately ignoring. It's a tool for accountability. It's a way of saying, this moment, right here, is connected to all those other moments. The problem isn't this one thing, the problem is the theme. Ignoring that history is a form of enabling. It allows the other person to treat every recurring mistake as a fresh offense, perpetually resetting the clock on their behavior. They never have to confront the cumulative weight of their actions. Think of a friend who consistently flakes on plans at the last minute. You confront them about it after they just bailed on your birthday dinner. They apologize, saying something unexpected came up. On its own, it's forgivable. But this is the 10th time. Saying, remember when you missed my going away party, and the time you were a no-show for the movie we'd planned for a month, is framing the problem accurately. The hurt you're feeling now isn't from one cancelled dinner. It's the product of a dozen small betrayals. Without that history, your level of frustration seems like a massive overreaction. With that history, it's perfectly proportional. The past isn't a weapon, it's evidence. It's the data that proves the thesis. So, the past provides crucial data. It separates a one-off mistake from a chronic flaw. And yet, this logic has its own dangerous blind spot. Who gets to be the historian of the relationship? The moment shared history becomes a database of grievances, the relationship turns into a courtroom. The person with the better memory, or the one more willing to weaponize it, holds all the power. Arguments cease to be about resolving conflict. They become a battle of archives, a contest to see who has the more damning file on the other. This dynamic is corrosive. It creates an environment where vulnerability is a liability. Every mistake you admit to is another entry in their ledger against you. This raises an impossible question. Is there a statute of limitations on our personal failings? When is a mistake officially off limits? After a year? After a sincere apology? Does a forgotten anniversary carry the same sentence as a deep betrayal? There are no established rules. The person who feels wronged becomes the judge, jury, and emotional executioner, deciding when and how your past will be used against you. The kill switch works so effectively because it's a biological hack. When someone says, remember when you, they are intentionally triggering your limbic system. The feeling of shame from a past event is stored in your brain alongside the memory itself. Recalling it doesn't just bring back the facts, it brings back the feeling, that tight knot in your stomach, the heat rising in your face. Neurologically, your brain and body are reacting as if the failure is happening all over again. The person deploying this tactic is knowingly pushing you into a state of emotional retreat. It is an attack on your nervous system. Whether they mean for it to be this damaging is almost irrelevant. The impact is the same. It's a shutdown. This mirrors a much larger cultural shift. We live in an age of permanent archives. A foolish tweet from a decade ago can end a career today. We are all haunted by digital ghosts, past versions of ourselves preserved in perfect fidelity, ready to be resurrected by anyone with a search bar. Our personal relationships are becoming a microcosm of this receipt culture. We carry the logs of past fights in our heads, ready to be screenshotted and presented as evidence. This creates a terrifying paradox about forgiveness. If you have truly forgiven someone, you relinquish the right to use their mistake as leverage. If you're still holding it in your back pocket for the next fight, you haven't forgiven them. You've just placed the grievance on layaway. It raises the question, do we even know how to forgive anymore? Or do we just know how to archive? Even if you believe the past is sometimes relevant, the delivery method is everything. There's a vast difference between collaboratively examining a pattern and pulling the pin on a shame grenade. The phrase itself is part of the problem. Remember when you is an accusation disguised as a question. It is inherently adversarial. It assigns blame before the conversation has even begun. But what's the alternative? How do you raise a recurring issue without triggering this defensive shutdown? A more constructive approach reframes the goal. The goal is to solve the problem together. So, instead of pointing a finger, you can use an I statement. Something like, I'm feeling hurt right now, and I think it's because this situation reminds me of what happened last year. It's bringing up a lot of the same feelings for me. Notice the shift. The focus is on your present emotion, and the past is used as an explanation for your reaction, an invitation for them to understand your inner world. There is no accusation. There is only a statement of your experience. Or you can name the pattern directly, but collaboratively. I'm noticing a pattern developing around how we handle money. We've had similar disagreements before. Can we talk about why this keeps happening for us? The key words are, I'm noticing, and for us. It transforms the confrontation from you are broken to our system is broken, let's fix it. This approach invites curiosity instead of defensiveness. It moves the discussion from assigning blame for the past to designing a better future. The conversation becomes about diagnosis, a shared search for a cure. But this requires immense emotional regulation. In the heat of an argument, when you feel betrayed or disrespected, is it realistic to expect someone to so carefully choose their words? Is it fair? On one hand, a relationship without a memory is a relationship without accountability. It allows destructive patterns to repeat on a loop, with every new offense treated like the first. It condemns you to relive the same failures forever. On the other, a relationship where any past mistake can be resurrected at any time is a prison. It denies the very possibility of growth. It holds you hostage to every version of you that has ever existed, ensuring you can never truly escape your own history. It forces a brutal choice. Do you erase the past to protect the present, or do you risk the present to hold the past accountable? So, where do you draw the line? When is remember when you a necessary tool for truth, and when is it just the ugliest way to win?